Imagine a time long ago. Two groups of people, the Philistines and the Israelites, are locked in a bitter conflict. Tensions run high. The land is parched. Fear hangs heavy in the air. The Philistines, known for their strength and ruthlessness, have gathered their armies on one side of a valley. They are battle-hardened and eager for victory. On the other side stand the Israelites, God's chosen people, but a people gripped by fear. Their fate and the fate of their land hangs in the balance. The sun beats down on the valley, reflecting off the metal of swords and shields. Every day the threat of war looms. The Israelites, though brave, are weary. They have witnessed the might of the Philistine army. They have heard tales of their cruelty. Their hearts are heavy with dread. The air crackles with anticipation. A sense of foreboding hangs over the valley. Both sides know that a decisive moment is near. From the Philistine ranks emerges a figure of immense size and strength. His presence alone sends shivers down the spines of those who dare to look upon him. His name is Goliath. He is a giant among men, towering head and shoulders above even the tallest warrior. His sheer size and imposing stature make him a living nightmare for any who would face him. His armor gleams in the sunlight, a terrifying spectacle. Each piece of his gear is meticulously crafted, designed to both protect and intimidate. He strides confidently, his voice booming across the valley, challenging the Israelites. His every step seems to shake the ground, a testament to his overwhelming power.
I defy the ranks of Israel this day. His voice echoes filled with disdain and arrogance. Give me a man that we may fight together. His challenge is not just a call to battle, but a taunt, a mockery of their courage.
Goliath's challenge is simple, brutal and terrifying. It is a test of bravery, a call to arms that no one dares to answer. He calls for a champion from the Israelites to face him in single combat. The terms are clear and unforgiving. The stakes, the winner takes all. The loser's people will be enslaved. The weight of this challenge hangs heavy over the Israelite camp. Day after day, Goliath repeats his challenge. Day after day, fear paralyzes the Israelites. His voice becomes a constant reminder of their impending doom. No one dares to answer the giant's call. The once brave soldiers now tremble at the thought of facing him.
Who can stand against him? He is not just a man, he is a force of nature, an embodiment of the Philistines' might and power. He is a symbol of the Philistines' might. His presence alone is enough to demoralize the Israelite army.
Every day, his taunts chip away at their courage, their hope. The once proud army is now a shadow of its former self. Their spirits are broken, their resolve shattered. Their hope, the once proud army, is now a shadow of its former self. The soldiers, once filled with pride and valor, now stand defeated and weary. Their king, Saul, watches in despair. He too feels the weight of fear and helplessness. His heart is heavy with the burden of his people's suffering.
How can we, who are but men, stand against such a giant? The question lingers in the air, unanswered, as the soldiers look to their king for guidance. Stand against such a giant, the challenge seems insurmountable, the odds impossible. Yet in the face of such overwhelming adversity, a spark of hope may still remain.
Far from the battlefield, in the rolling hills of Bethlehem, a young shepherd named David tends to his flock. He is a handsome boy, known for his courage, his faith in God, and his skill with the sling. He is also the youngest son of Jesse, sent by his father to bring food to his brothers who are fighting with Saul's army. David arrives at the camp as Goliath is issuing his daily challenge. He listens in astonishment as his brothers and the other Israelite soldiers tremble before the giant's threats. He hears their whispers of fear and despair.
Why do you let this uncircumcised Philistine defy the armies of the living God?
But David is different. He is not afraid. He believes in the power of God and knows that God will protect his people. When David hears Goliath's challenge, he is confused. How can they let this giant defy the army of the living God? He doesn't understand their fear. He sees Goliath not as an invincible giant, but as a man defying God. David knows he must act. David's eldest brother, Eliab, scolds him for his naivete. He cannot fathom why David, a mere shepherd, would dare to think he could challenge a giant like Goliath. He accuses David of being arrogant and seeking glory. Eliab's words are harsh, filled with disbelief and frustration. Even King Saul doubts David's ability to face Goliath. The king, a seasoned warrior himself, cannot see how a young shepherd could possibly stand a chance.
You are just a boy, and this man has been a warrior from his youth. The king's voice is filled with concern and skepticism.
But David is undeterred, his resolve is unshaken, his faith unwavering.
The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine. David's voice is filled with conviction and certainty.
David's faith is unshakable. He reminds Saul that God has delivered him from lions and bears while protecting his flock. These past experiences have fortified his belief. He knows in his heart that God will deliver him from this giant too. His eyes reflect a deep spiritual assurance. His confidence is not arrogance, but a deep and unwavering faith. It is a faith that has been tested and proven in the wilderness. David's courage and conviction eventually persuade Saul. The king sees a glimmer of hope in David's eyes. He allows David to confront Goliath. The decision is made, and David steps forward with a heart full of faith. Saul, desperate for a champion, agrees. He is willing to take a chance on this young shepherd. He offers David his own armor and sword, but they are too heavy, too cumbersome for the young shepherd. David struggles under the weight, realizing they are not meant for him.
I cannot go in these, for I have not tested them. David's voice is calm but firm as he removes the armor.
David will face Goliath with only his faith, his sling, and 5 smooth stones from the riverbed. He knows that these simple tools, combined with his unwavering belief, are all he needs. The two figures stand on opposite sides of the valley, a stark contrast in size and weaponry. One, a towering giant, the other, a humble shepherd boy. The air is thick with tension, as if the very earth itself is holding its breath.
Boastfully. Look at you, little shepherd boy. Do you think you can stand against me? Do you think you can defeat me with that? Your puny sling is no match for my might.
Goliath, clad in heavy armor, brandishes his spear and shield, confident in his physical superiority. His armor gleams under the sun, a testament to his strength and experience in battle.
Calmly, I come in the name of the Lord, the God of the armies of Israel. It is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves.
David, a small figure in the vastness of the valley, carries only his shepherd's staff and sling. His faith is his armor, his trust in the Lord his shield. He bends down, selects a stone, and fits it into his sling. Each movement is deliberate, filled with purpose and conviction.
Enraged. How dare you challenge me? I will crush you. You are nothing but a boy.
The tension is palpable. Every eye is on the two figures, every breath held in anticipation of the clash. The air crackles with anticipation. It is as if the very atmosphere is charged with the electricity of the impending confrontation. Goliath, enraged by David's audacity, charges towards him, cursing and bellowing threats. His heavy footsteps shake the ground, a thunderous roar accompanying each stride.
Determined, this is for the Lord. Today he will deliver you into my hands.
David, with the agility of a shepherd accustomed to facing wild beasts, runs towards the giant, his sling whirling faster and faster. David takes aim, his eyes locked on his target, his heart steady with faith. He releases the stone with a sharp snap of the sling. The sound echoes through the valley, a signal of the impending fate.
Shocked. No, this cannot be.
The stone flies through the air, a small speck against the vastness of the valley. It seems to move in slow motion, every eye tracking its path. It finds its mark, sinking into Goliath's forehead. The giant's eyes widen in shock, his body teetering on the brink of collapse. A hush falls over the battlefield. The once boastful giant now lies still, and the silence is deafening, a testament to the power of faith and courage. The giant stumbles. The mighty Goliath, the terror of the Philistines, falls to the ground with a crash that echoes through the valley. The impact of his fall is as immense as the giant himself. Everything has changed.
No, this can't be happening.
The Philistine army, witnessing their champion's impossible defeat, panics. Their ranks crumble, they flee in terror.
Look, they're running.
The Israelites, emboldened by David's courage and their faith in God, surge forward. It is a rout. The Philistines are defeated. David, the young shepherd, stands victorious over the fallen giant. He has achieved the unthinkable, not through brute strength, but through courage, faith, and the belief that God stands with those who trust in him.
The Lord has delivered us today.
The story of David and Goliath is more than just a battle between two warriors. It is a testament to the power of courage in the face of overwhelming odds. It is a story about the unshakable faith that can move mountains, or in this case, topple giants. David's victory is a powerful reminder that our greatest fears often lie in our perception of our own limitations. We are all capable of extraordinary things when we trust in something greater than ourselves. David's story teaches us to challenge our giants, even when they seem insurmountable. It encourages us to confront our fears, to stand up for what we believe in, and to never underestimate the power of faith. The story of David and Goliath continues to resonate thousands of years later. It's a story that has been told and retold, inspiring generations with its message of hope and the triumph of the underdog. We see echoes of David and Goliath in our own lives, in our own challenges and triumphs. Every day people face their own giants, illness, adversity, self-doubt, and every day people find the courage to overcome them, drawing strength from their faith, their values, and their belief in themselves. The story of David and Goliath is a timeless reminder that the greatest battles are often won not by the strongest or the most powerful, but by those who dare to believe in something bigger than themselves. The story of David and Goliath challenges us to find our own slingshots, to identify the tools and talents we possess that can help us overcome our own giants. It reminds us that we all have unique strengths, sometimes hidden or underestimated, that can lead us to victory. David's story is a call to action. It encourages us to confront our fears, to embrace our potential, and to face our challenges with the same courage and faith that David displayed against Goliath. It is a story that reminds us that even the most formidable giants can be defeated if we have the courage to stand up to them.